All right, folks, November 7th, it's almost 3 p.m. I just hopped back inside the tractor. She's chilly today. It was 16 degrees this morning. That's, I believe that's our lowest thus far. And we got continued weather like that. All right, we got a game changer here. I just got back inside from cleaning debris away from the gearboxes and joints. We've got a different batwing mower here. Believe it or not, with all the shafts laying around the farm, nothing would do for what I needed for that video that I put on last night. Even the local other farm, I'm not going to call it a specialty shaft, but it obviously needs to be you know, a mower shaft. And my buddy that's got the business that borrowed me this one as well, this is his. He's got one, but it's about 165 miles away. And yeah, so anyway, this is a 15-foot batwing mower by John Deere. I do not know the model number. Shame on me. This is a 1000 PTO, so of course I had to change out the shaft in this tractor, which actually was a first for me. I'll admit it. I've got no shame. That's the first time for this tractor to be in 1000 PTO, and for me to change that shaft out. I've done it before with other people. It literally took 3.5 minutes. So good stuff. Okay, we are in a cornfield. You can tell he's combining right now, that I actually did not expect or plan to hit. The other couple fields have not been hit yet, so I have opted to include this in. Yeah. How are things going? I guess pretty good. You know, this is a new ball game for me. Let's get this thing going here while I'm jibber jabbering. I will admit that it's very nerve-wracking. Number one, because I've never done this before. I'm always an extremely nervous person and kind of standoffish with something I haven't done before. I can only assume that makes sense to you, a lot of you. The other part is that's not my piece of equipment. That really has me on edge. You're about to see me going pretty slow, and there's a lot of you that would probably say you need to put that head down lower. I'm not going to. This is a borrowed piece of equipment. I don't know how else to say it. And I tell you what, you better be on your tippy toes with this thing. With some of these hills, some of them immediate, some of them gradual, you need to feather the mower. Now, I got to be honest with you, I'm a little peed off at myself here. I knew darn well that I was going to run into a little bit of complications of having to feather it back and forth, up and down, excuse me. I was going to plan on bringing some cylinder spacers, blockers, whatever you want to call them, and I forgot them. I got it pretty much dialed in the way I want it, and I know when I need to hit it, but putting I'm going to have to say probably a 3/4 inch spacer on the cylinder is going to be an absolute must. So anyway, enough all this gabbering. Bear with me here, folks. Like I said, this is a little tedious for me. It's amazing to me how much material you believe is there when you're looking at this. I think I'm in for a surprise. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like a kid the day before Christmas. I absolutely cannot. I can't stand it. I'm honestly gonna probably come out here right after chores, probably about 5 o'clock. I'm gonna start chores just a little bit early. I'm gonna mow up until then. I'm probably gonna come right out here just for a split little bit with the double windrow rake, just to see what kind of material is in a windrow, because I can't stand it. That's the kid in me. So whatever. I did a full-on maintenance grease job of this batwing mower. Never in my entire life have I ever seen an implement or greased an implement of that somewhat smaller size. There's a lot of moving parts on there. With that many grease zerks, there had to have been, I'm going to take a wild guess of 35, if not 40, maybe more. And it was absolutely mind-boggling. A lot of firsts going on here today. I'm going to jump off subject. I fed my first bale of peas and oats to the beef cattle this morning. They got their normal silage, a bale of cattle candy, as I call it, and I ended up opening up the row of peas and oats because it would have had to been opened up tomorrow anyway. I am very, very satisfied, and so are the cows. We're gonna have to take a special look at that with a special video, maybe even tomorrow morning. All right, now see, there's a little hill here. Gosh, damn it. So I feathered it up. Very dirty, very nasty, very surprising to me. Like I said, I didn't really know what to expect. This is a first for me. Now I'm going to come up a little bit more because of this little knoll that we're on here. Not to mention, these knolls like to have a fair amount of rocks in them. Alright, now I'm going to come all the way up. Windows are fogging up. It's all that hot air I'm blowing. But this is definitely time consuming, but big deal. I tell you what, I really screwed up. The very first amount of words that I needed to say doing this video, and I hope most of you are still watching, is a huge pat on the back, tip of the hat, and a big thank you to Brad Larson. Everybody knows Brad. If you don't, YouTube channel name, Northern Wisconsin Farming. Brad has dealt with and baled up tens of thousands of corn fodder, corn stock bales. Not only for himself, but I believe he does a significant amount of what I call subcontract work, custom work, within his area to other grain farmers. Anyway, Brad, was very fortunate to come in contact with Brad on a more personal level, which of course means phone numbers and actual conversations, text messages, and pick his brain about what to expect, what should I watch for, even pressure with the baler, everything else. So folks, I can only hope to God that if you catch my channel and my videos, I really hope that you're over there at Brad Larson's Northern Wisconsin Farming. People free with, I'm not trying to be negative here, people free with information these days is not exactly very common. Brad shared everything he could with me, and what to watch for, what to expect, what not to expect, and everything else. But I'll stop there. Brad Larson, I hope you catch this. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. Now, of course, folks, I'm I've just started this process. I'm just mowing now. I got to do some raking, and then of course the big one's going to be baling. How is my baler going to handle this stuff? What I really like about this mower is we're getting some very fine product. It's probably going to play hell on the baler, but as a feed source to the cattle, which is the biggest reason that I'm doing this, and will, as we do this video series, I'll get more into it. I believe the cattle are absolutely going to love it. I sure hope so, because I got quite a bit riding on this. You can call this free all you want, but it's not free. It costs money to do this. I don't know how else to put it. They're rocking and rolling, doing real good. They started on this field, I think, about 10 o'clock this morning. I couldn't tell you the acre count here. It's definitely, I'd have to say this is definitely a 40. That's a fact, Jack. But they're rocking and rolling. He's probably about 20 minutes away from being done, and then he is going to another field right on the other side of the hill of the farm, which is one of the fields that I have penciled in to go ahead and do up. So we're going to keep rocking and rolling. It's going to be non-stop. I definitely see taking the rake out here because, like, I'm a little kid and I can't stand it. I need to know. And then there is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that we're going to continue to mow through the night. So stay tuned for some videos, hopefully some night videos. The lighting on this tractor doesn't take a lot to impress me, so I'm here to tell you I'm kind of looking forward to it. Who knows, we might even incorporate some hay freds. Make a bunch of people mad that I'm going to stop there. So anyway, enjoy the sight here, folks. It's a very crisp, cold November 7th here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We are 7-8 days away from the opener of rifle season for white-tailed deer. Things are really coming alive up here. The deer are running ragged for any deer hunters out there, anybody that knows better. The rut is already on with this change of weather, which of course the weather will do it. The rut has started slowly but surely. So anyway, all right, folks, I got to get going. I got to pay attention, and we're going to talk to you very much sooner than later. Hope you enjoyed.